Alright, hey y'all, it's the Ebonee Gamer. And I know you probably don't even know who the fuck I am. I've been MIA for so long, but that's a topic for another day. We're in the middle of E3 right now. This is day 2. I completely missed day 1, but from what I understand, even amongst EA fanboys and fangirls, it really didn't fucking matter. It wasn't really anything to miss, so I'm not too concerned about it. I'll probably go back and play some catch up. But I did catch today, and it was a pretty so-so day. It wasn't really anything that blew me away like last year. This year I'm going to go ahead and do it by days instead of by conference. It's a little bit easier for me, and honestly, if I did it by conference, I'd probably have 1 or 2 things to say per video, and there's just no point in breaking it up this year. So we're going to go ahead and get into it and cut time. The first thing that caught my eye in the Xbox briefing was the Xbox One X. And what caught my eye about it was that it says it's 4K gaming, and I know that that's a PC thing, and they put it out there like a couple of times, maybe more than twice. Like, they were very, very arrogant. They was biggity as fuck about this is supposed to be the best, the most powerful gaming console out right now. So we'll see. I might actually spring for this. I wasn't too interested last year in the Scorpio. I don't think I might have showed some interest, but if I did, it died down. But this year I might actually spring for this because I have been interested in 4K gaming, but at the same time, this seems like a more affordable way to do it, because when I went to have my computer built, we were talking about 4K gaming and it's really expensive, and I just don't really have any interest in it. I don't really see the point of it right now, but I might try this out. If it turns out to be this really powerful console, I might put the money down on it, and we'll see what they say. But I actually just want to see some tech talk people tear it apart, and get their hands into it and start running tests and things. And they say that that's coming out November 7th, I think. That's in my notes here, November 7th, so we should be able to see pretty soon. We're not that far off from fall. Then they got into Forza. I couldn't care less about Forza. I couldn't care less if God himself came down and paid me to care less about Forza. And I mean, they really dug in with it, so that was a decent portion. That was a bathroom break and a snack for me, I think. So yeah, I couldn't give 2 shits in a stack of PS1 games about that. So then they moseyed on into Metro, and I think it's called Metro Exodus. Now, I really did like the last Metro game. I'm a sucker for post-apocalyptic anything. I always have been. I don't know. I just really like dreary, negative stories. It's kind of crazy because I don't know, you wouldn't think that I would, and they bother me, but I really like that type of setting. And Metro is really interesting that it's these people living in metro tunnels, because the air outside is so irradiated and contaminated and just unlivable. But now it seems like we can go outside, and I think that they kind of showed that at the end of the last Metro game. I can't remember, it's been a while. I might have to play it for the channel before this one comes out. There's a couple of games I'm gonna have to do that with that I've seen so far at this E3. It looked good. They got right into the gameplay, so kudos to them on that. Nothing really negative to say, nothing really like out of the world shocking, but as far as do I think it'll look fun to play or good, yeah, from what I've seen. If that is real gameplay and the graphics are going to come out looking like that, they're not going to pull a Watch Dogs, then I don't have anything really negative to say. I'm excited for it. The next one blew me away. Like, it really surprised me. I thought it was a knockoff game because I wasn't expecting them to announce an Assassin's Creed game in the Xbox briefing. We have a Ubisoft one coming up tomorrow, and obviously, you would think they would be doing it. So I'm guessing they're going to expand on it since they've announced it with Xbox. But honestly, I think all Assassin's Creed fans have been waiting for the Ancient Egypt Assassins. I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't start the story with Babylon, because I would think Babylonian assassins would be like, Babylon's the cradle of civilization, I believe. But Ancient Egypt is really where, to me, things really picked up, at least for the modern world. We really take a lot more from Ancient Egypt than we do Babylon. So it makes sense. And I really am excited to see who this new assassin is. I hate the fuck out of Ubisoft. I hate them. I want them to fail and die and burn. But I will give props when props is due. Like, I'm petty, but I'm not that petty. And if props are due, I'll give them to you. And props are due, because they listen to fans. Fans have been requesting this game for a very long time. I'm hoping that this new character, I already forgot his name, it was kind of hard to pronounce, That's really disrespectful. I'm sorry, Egyptian people, but I didn't catch it. They didn't say it enough times. They said the eagle's name more times than they said his name. I'm hoping he's part of Ezio and Connor and Edward and Altair and basically Desmond's bloodline. I really am hoping that they don't waste that. I saw that, I peeped the scar, but that doesn't automatically mean anything. That seems like it's more of an Easter egg at this point, because Aveline had a scar and she's not related. And I know there's the eagle thing, but that's kind of cool that they actually went ahead and made the eagle vision literally be an eagle's vision this game around. Like, that seemed cool. So it seems like they might have some other newer features to the game. Graphically, it looks fantastic. And like I said, I loathe Ubisoft, but this game is mine. I'm not gonna lie. Unless they fuck up and they pull, some crap in it. They pull a Watch Dogs. Because y'all know how Ubisoft be acting. The new assassin looks like daddy material, just like all the other assassins. I'm just saying. And I like how there was more straight gameplay. They showed the trailer, and then they got right into the gameplay, and like a decent length of gameplay too. So I have to give them props. Like, it seems like Microsoft really did kind of take a few notes from Sony last year and just get into what you want to see. They pulled some crap. They weren't perfect, but I think they did improve. They've been improving a little bit by bit, these past few E3s. Specifically last year and this year. But yeah, it was crazy. I was like, is Microsoft really about to introduce a game that blatantly rips off Assassin's Creed? Are they really about to be that bold? Because I really wasn't expecting it. I was like, okay, bitch, you know what? At this point, I don't even know what the tone is about to be for the rest of this E3. But no, it was Assassin's Creed. So I can say I was pleasantly surprised, and I haven't been literally surprised in a long time. Like, not even last year when everything was just amazing. Well, not everything, but a lot of things were good. And the year before, everything was amazing. I don't have anything too negative to say about that. I hope that they keep to what they've shown and don't be an Indian giver, essentially. Come on, Ubisoft. Like, come on, Ubisoft. Y'all eating L's like y'all got a tapeworm or some shit. You gotta get it together. I don't want you to get it together, but I can't get mad if you start making steps in the right direction. I still hope Vivendi cancels y'all's asses, though. The Last Night looked trill as hell. Now, it's a pixel art game, and you might have missed it in there. It was like in their little flash of diverse games. God, the amount of buzzwords Microsoft threw out should be criminal. They were out of fucking hand. Somebody really should have talked to them about that. But The Last Night, I love pixel art games, but in this one actually seems like it's doing a different take on pixel art. Like, I've never seen this style. It's like a mix of 3D pixel art. It's got a little bit of like shaders in there. I don't know. It's definitely something. It's something different. So not something that I've seen a lot, and that's really something I want to call attention to, because it's, as a person who does pixel art, it's really not easy to kind of make your own distinctive style with it. So when I see artists do that, because you're already working with such a basic style, so when artists do that, they have much respect for me. And the game looks interesting, so I can't wait to see what that's about. Code Vein reminds me of the Castlevania universe, and I really can't wait to play that. I wasn't really expecting any announcements on it, but I had peeped it a while ago on YouTube, a trailer for it or some discussion or something, and it got my interest, kind of like Little Nightmares did. So I can't wait to play that. I thought it was going to be something else on Nier Automata for a second. Like, the city they were standing in kind of looks like Nier Automata. I love the Victorian era STs it was serving, so yeah, I'm excited for that. It actually looks a lot better than the Castlevania bullshit ripoff that they have coming, Bloodstained or something. But I don't think that's Microsoft. I think that's just, that might be Namco Band. I'm not sure. Cuphead continues to make me thirsty. Like, they could have cut down on that BS pirate game. Like, I didn't ask for that. They could have cut that shit right on out and gave us some more Cuphead. Because they've been showing Cuphead for the longest. Isn't there like 3 E3s now? They're pulling a little bit of a No Man's Sky. So, I don't know. I kind of want them to come on with Cuphead. They announced that original Xbox games can be played. And that's good news for the future of my channel, because there are a few original Xbox games that I remember playing that I think I want to give a shot. A couple of videos too. So, and that's launching this year, they said. So I'm excited about that. We'll check that out. kind of gives me another reason to really want to buy that other one, that other Xbox, because my Xbox is already looking kind of crazy in terms of gigabytes, and don't even get me started on my PS4, the memory. So I really am looking at that Xbox One X for multiple reasons. Anthem looked okay. I don't know how I feel about it, but it's not bad. Like, I don't have any ill feelings towards it. I like that there's different ways from what they've shown. It seems like there's going to be different ways to explore the world, and be that swimming, flying, or walking / running. I love games that give you this diverse terrain and then actually let you explore that terrain in different ways. Like, don't limit us to land, and if you can help it, don't limit us when we're on land to just walking. Like, let us explore it in many different ways, because then you just don't get bored of ways to travel around. I'm hoping that it's not going to be just a bunch of running around in the forest, shooting a couple things type of game. No, I hope there's going to be more to it than that. Some people are already comparing it to Destiny, and I think it could be what Destiny was supposed to be, but it did give me Destiny tease, and that could go one or two ways, good or bad. He was talking about how there's like some storm or something that happens every so often while you're playing, and it reminded me of how in Destiny, if you're playing on, well, you're going to be playing online anyways, but every so often the sky will get dark and there's some big boss or some big event that you don't have to, but if you participate in with other people online, and you get rewarded or something. It sounded like that's kind of what he was describing. Hopefully it's more fleshed out than the way that Destiny did it though. But I'm not gonna go ahead and like try to compare it to Destiny or put anything on its name. I'm gonna just kind of try to let Anthem stand on its own. And like I said, I don't have anything negative really to say about it. Just what I hope it's not, but I think I'm just gonna try to give it a chance because it didn't really look bad to me. All in all, Microsoft stepped it up in some ways, but I was a little too bored for a decent portion of it, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of switched over to Total Biscuit a little bit just to hear some snark, and then I was on my phone, and I'm not usually like that even in other Xbox shows. This year at E3 so far, that's been my general consensus, is boredom. Like they kind of half-assed stuff. Like there was some good stuff, but it just didn't last, you know? It's like gum. You get that burst of flavor and then it's just over. But yeah, Microsoft definitely improved in some areas, so I will give them props on that. Now moving on over real quick to the pre-show, and this is if you watched it on Twitch, which I'm sure a lot of you did. During the talk about Bloodstain, when he mixed up the two Japanese devs, that was the funniest moment of the whole night. Bruh. I swear, that was more entertaining than anything I've seen this whole day and night. Like, that shit was hilarious. Like, and then the chat was going crazy, like racist. I don't think he was being racist, but it was funny. He was just ill prepared. I fucking hollered though, y'all. I wish y'all could have heard me. I was out. But I'm pretty pissed about the game though. That's the only funny thing about that whole segment was it is called Bloodstain. I just checked my notes and it's trash, man. It is trash. It's so boring, so stiff, and it's yet another Ebonee knockoff. And to be fair, I believe Castlevania took its, because they call it Metroidvania, because I believe it took its format from one of the Metroid games. So I'm not trying to act like Symphony of the Night was the first to do it the way that it did it. Because again, if I'm not mistaken, it took its format from Metroid. But it did it amazingly. And this game is just far too stiff, far too bland, and there's nothing to give it its own identity. It's clearly just supposed to be just like Ukulele, like just cashing in on the nostalgia points for people rather than actually taking the time to sit down and creatively put together a game that may be inspired by its predecessor. It's just, like I said, it's just a clear, cut and dry, bland ripoff. The main character is just so, I don't even know her name. I don't give a shit. She's not Alucard. That castle's not Dracula's castle. There's no Belmonts. I just don't care. The weapons look boring. The Symphony of the Night and one of the most amazing features to me in Symphony of the Night was the vast array of weapons. It reminded me of like how I get about Dark Souls. But there's just not going to be any excitement when you finally get Chrysogram or when you get the jeweled sword and you can just sit there and kind of make a little bit of bank. It's just bland and nothing. They could have kept that. We just want Alucard, man. We just want Dracula's castle. I don't think it's difficult to understand. So moseying on over to the Bethesda E3 presentation, and this is the last one of the night for me. If it seems like I'm skipping around, if I didn't note something, it probably wasn't interesting, or I just didn't, get enough notes in time, or it just didn't feel like I needed to mention it. Doesn't mean that it was bad or that I hated it or whatever. E3's was colorful but boring. Like the art-wise, the whole B3 amusement park was really cute. I like that, and that art style, it's kind of kitsched. It's cute. Like, it's one of my favorite art styles. It reminds me of, like, the 50s. Those little 50s films, Sally and Timmy went to the doctor type of thing. And it was cute. But what we actually saw, the way they presented it was great, but what we saw, yet again, this feels like a year Bethesda could have stayed at home. And that's crazy because I was one of the people literally nearly fainting when they announced for the first time they would be at E3, because I had been wanting them for the longest, because they're my favorite game development company. But I'm very disappointed in what they've been bringing to the table these past 2 years, because it's just rehashed stuff for the most part with a few gems in the middle. And it's like, that's not how it should be. I understand everything can't be thriller and Manila level fights, every coming out the gate swinging, but everything should not be toast either, just plain toast. And a lot of what we got was plain toast. Like Skyrim, I love that game. I love Elder Scrolls, but I'm tired of hearing about Skyrim from them. We get it. Y'all made a masterpiece game, but you're ruining its legacy by continuing to rehash it and serve it to us and act like we have amnesia from the last year that you did it. Dating back to when you first released it years ago. Come on, y'all. It's time for a new Elder Scrolls IP, and not any more bullshit with online. I don't care about card games. Don't give me that. Come to the table with a new Elder Scrolls IP, or move on to something else. But this really should be the last year we're hearing about Skyrim. I really hope next year they don't bring anything at all to do with Skyrim. I don't even want to hear next year, oh, Switch, we have mods for you guys, so let's talk about Skyrim for the millionth time. No. And it really was boring up until they started talking some shit I wanted to hear. Billy fucking Lurk is back, y'all. Queen Billy is back. I have wanted to play her all the way back to when you play as Dodd. And I like Dodd, but come on, Billy. We need some time with Billy. And honestly, like, it pisses me off that she's DLC, because I would have much rather played as Billy than Emily. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't care about Emily. I love Corvo. I love Dodd. Emily's okay, but Billy is queen. I would have much rather spent my time with Billy because she had a really interesting storyline way back when. And I'm not going to get all into it now because I could be here all day, but I'm definitely going to try to hurry up and get my Dishonored 1, 2, and DLCs out the way so that we can be prepared and have talked lore and talk shop and whatever by the time Billy's DLC comes. But it sucks because I don't want to kill the Outsider. I love the Outsider. He's hot. I don't want to kill him. I just want to go ahead and let y'all know that we're going to be having a memorial service for myself on Friday the 13th, October 2017. Don't bring any cheap sodas. Don't bring any cheap bullshit. You will be denied at the door. Wear all black. Be dressed appropriately. Because Evil Within 2 snatched my life, and I'm not going to be ready when it comes out. I'm going to be dead. Can't at this game. I cannot wait to play it. Evil Within 1 is phenomenal. As far as horror games go, it didn't really take a lot of the cliches. Like, I have to acknowledge that. Like, it gave me old school Silent Hill tease. Like, what made Silent Hill 2 and, to a degree for me, 3 so just chilling and kind of stays with you a bit. There was some really good, really great moments in Evil Within, and there's a lot of originality to it, I think, too. Like, they really did, within a genre that's kind of oversaturated, even by people who've been doing it for a long time, or series who've been doing it for a long time. They really did a good job at setting themselves apart. Like, when I think Evil Within 2, I think of Evil Within, I think of Evil Within. And now that I'm hearing about Evil Within 2, I think it definitely deserves a sequel. And I wasn't expecting it until I saw my favorite LPer say something on Twitter, which is the Rad Brab. And I know that he's freaking the fuck out. I can't wait to see him play it. I can't wait to play it. I'm going to try to play the first game. That's one of the ones I'm going to have to do on my channel. Because Guys, Seb is still looking fine. The trailer was looking crisp as Lay's. The gameplay clips that we saw were fire as fuck. Like, my sanity is already tripping, and I'm really excited to get into that story. Like, that preacher in the forest bit, y'all. A lot of games are coming out with some, like, pretty powerful storylines that I guess are kind of a commentary on past ideas, or even current ideas, or current situations, or, you know, just things that the devs feel need to be said. Like, we know Mafia 3 came out holding, like pulling no punches at all. Like, it didn't care whose feelings it hurt with. I instantly got a flashback to when Mafia 3 was announced, when I saw the Wolfenstein 2 trailer. And it seems like it's going to be adding its hat to that emotional ring that a lot of games are stepping up to today. And that shit was wild, yo. Like, a pregnant woman stabbing somebody in the back. They said the dude was tripping on acid. I didn't know what to think of that part. This dude's busting up in places with armor that covers his head from getting shot. He's sniffing up in places he shouldn't be in. It's crazy. I'm guessing that chick's pregnant by him. He said something about having kids on the way. And it's Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, I think. And he walks into what looks like an American ice cream shop, but he's German. He's in full Nazi regalia. And that's kind of crazy. I'm wondering, is it supposed to be like some timeline where, like, America didn't win its bid in the war and Germany kind of took over? That's a little bit crazy to think about, but I'm definitely interested to see how they're going to portray that. I even saw, like, some KKK members walking around in the street, and it made me think about the new Far Cry, which, again, I hate Ubisoft, but I am excited to see, like, I want to see what that's about, because it seems like they might be going that white supremacist family, southerner, up in the mountains, I read the Bible but not really because of the way I act type of family. They seem like they have that story going for the new Far Cry, and that's gonna be different for Far Cry, so I'm excited for that. But sticking to what we're talking about here, Wolfenstein 2 looks amazing. I was never really a big Wolfenstein fan, but I'm not gonna lie, the way these characters look, the art style, and just the intrigue that it sparked, I'm definitely going to be getting into this one. And they also said, to close it on out, that everything that we saw will be out this year. So I have my work cut out for me because I still have stuff that I'm backed up on. So I really have to step up my work ethic and get this stuff out. That's just good news, because it's like we are getting we are getting some good gems, to the gaming pile this year. I think Evil Within 2 and being able to play as Billy Lurk are what have got me the most today. Out of everything I saw today, I think Bethesda did the best, but they didn't really have to try too hard, and that's not good. So hopefully for the rest of E3, things will step up. I'm gonna keep a positive attitude. Each day I refresh myself and just hope for the best, Like, it wasn't the worst. I don't have a lot of complaints, but I hope they take notes, because a lot of people it's a general consensus I've been noticing, and that's pretty crazy. Like, in this divisive time where everybody loves to disagree, people are agreeing on a lot of things, and a lot of it is step it up, it was boring. So hopefully they'll take notes and see, and kind of see what people like and what people didn't like, and next year might be better.